From the moment SHEDUER Sanders slipped into the 5th round of the NFL draft, the football world thought it had the kid figured out. He wasn't a franchise savior. He wasn't the headline grabber. He was a name, yes, a famous one, thanks to his father. But to most analysts, he was nothing more than a courtesy pick. A quarterback destined to spend his rookie year buried on the depth chart, quietly learning the ropes, getting a handful of preseason throws, and fading into the background while bigger names stole the spotlight. But if you've paid attention to SHEDUER's journey, if you've tracked how he's moved through every level of the game, you'd know one thing. Underestimating him has always been a mistake. And now, after what's unfolded at Brown's minicamp, it might just be one of the biggest mistakes the league has made in years. Nobody expected him to take over this fast. Nobody expected him to challenge veterans, shake the foundation of the quarterback room, and force the franchise to rethink its entire plan at the most important position in the sport. But that's exactly what's happening. The Cleveland Browns did not need another quarterback. Let's get that straight. This wasn't a team desperate for bodies under center. The room was already crowded, arguably overstuffed. You had Joe Flacco, a Super Bowl MVP, the grizzled vet whose arm may not have the same pop it once did, but whose presence alone brings credibility. You had Kenny Pickett, a former first-rounder trying to salvage his career after Pittsburgh gave up on him. You had Deshaun Watson, a controversial figure whose massive contract still casts a shadow over every decision the organization makes. And then you had Dylan Gabriel, a rookie dual-threat prospect who, according to many scouts, had the tools to develop into the quarterback of the future. That's 4 names right there. 4 reasons why nobody thought SHEDUER Sanders would even sniff significant reps this year. But SHEDUER didn't care about the math. He didn't care about the politics. He didn't care about the headlines. All he cared about was the work. And when the work finally came, when he got his chance in a move-the-ball drill in front of every set of eyes that mattered, he didn't just show competence. He showed command. This wasn't some throwaway rep in a casual walkthrough. This was one of those moments where the coaches are locked in, where every snap is being dissected, where you either prove you belong or you disappear into the background noise. And in that moment, Sanders did what he's done his entire career. He proved people wrong. He lined up ahead of Dylan Gabriel, a decision that wasn't a clerical error or a lucky break. It was a deliberate move by the coaching staff, a statement, and then he went out and delivered. The ball left his hands with rhythm. The timing on his throws was sharp. The reads were decisive. He didn't look like a 5th-round rookie swimming in new terminology. He looked like a seasoned pro running the offense with confidence. In one snap, the narrative began to flip. In one drill, he forced people to ask the question, did the Browns just stumble into the steal of the draft? Of course, if you followed Sanders in college, this shouldn't shock you. His numbers were ridiculous. A career completion percentage above 71%, 74% last season alone, all while playing behind one of the worst offensive lines in college football. He was sacked 42 times, hit countless more, pressured nearly every series, and yet his accuracy never dipped. That's not just production under pressure. That's mental toughness on a level most rookies don't bring with them. And yet, when draft day came, the NFL let him fall. Scouts nitpicked everything. His arm strength wasn't elite. His mobility wasn't elite. He played in his father's system, and some claimed that inflated his numbers. They ignored the poise, the decision-making, the leadership, and because of that, he slid. For some players, a draft slide kills confidence. For SHEDUER, it lit a fire, and now that fire is blazing in Cleveland. Coaches are blown away, not just by his throws, but by where the ball goes. He's not dumping off passes to pad the stats. He's ripping digs, hitting deep outs, working through progressions like a veteran. He's taking risks, smart risks, and completing them. The offense looks faster, cleaner, more precise with him under center. Teammates notice it. Analysts notice it. Even the defensive coaches, the ones who never hype up rookies, are admitting the offense looks different when SHEDUER is in control. And here's the part that's turning heads the most. It's not a fluke. Every day he stacks reps, he stacks proof. Coaches have stopped looking at him like a project. They're looking at him like an option, a real option. But let's not just talk about skill, let's talk about mindset. Because this is where Sanders separates himself from almost every other rookie in the league. Most young quarterbacks, when they don't get reps, you see it on their face. They sulk. They disengage. They leak frustration through the media. Sanders never did. He sat. He studied. He prepared as if he was the starter, even when he was buried behind 3 guys on the depth chart. His own words sum it up perfectly. You've got to understand the situation you're in. Whether you're getting reps or not, you can take it negatively, or you can use it to push yourself harder. That's maturity. That's perspective. That's the kind of mentality that doesn't just earn respect from coaches. It earns trust. And trust is everything in the NFL. That trust is now spilling into the locker room. Veterans are buying in. Receivers are already saying he's easy to read, easy to sync with. Tight ends love his timing. Even defensive players, the guys who don't hand out compliments, are acknowledging that he's tough to predict. That's high praise. Cornelius, one of the most respected leaders in the locker room, didn't mince words when asked about the QB competition. There's a hell of a competition with everyone competing, but especially SHEDUER. Read between the lines. That's not just hype. That's an endorsement. That's a veteran publicly saying, this rookie is more than a camp arm, that he's the real deal. And then there's Myles Garrett, the alpha, the heart of the Browns defense. One of the most respected voices in all of football. Garrett doesn't throw out compliments lightly, but when asked about Sanders, he didn't hesitate. He's got a good head on his shoulders, always smiling, always ready to work. You love showing up to work with someone like that. It might sound casual, but that's a big deal. Garrett's opinion carries weight not just in the locker room, but in the front office. If he says a rookie lifts the team's vibe, the coaches listen. That kind of endorsement doesn't just happen. It's earned. And for Sanders to have that respect this early, that's no accident. That's proof. Meanwhile, the media tide has turned completely. Mary Kay Cabot, one of the toughest, most skeptical insiders covering the Browns, has gone from doubting him to praising him. She's calling his rise legitimate, not hype. Former NFL receiver James Jones has gone even further, flat out saying the best option for the Browns right now is Sanders. Think about that. A 5th-round rookie with less than a month of NFL practices under his belt is being publicly endorsed as the best option in a quarterback room filled with veterans and high-profile names. That doesn't happen unless what he's showing is undeniable. But here's where it gets interesting. Dylan Gabriel. Just weeks ago, Gabriel was the shiny new toy. The athletic dual threat, the guy analysts hyped as the future. But football doesn't care about hype. Football cares about results. And when the reps mattered, when the live drills counted, it was Sanders who took the field first. That's not symbolic. That's real. And when he did, the difference was obvious. Gabriel brings flashes. Sanders brings control. Gabriel gives you a highlight. Sanders gives you stability. Coaches are noticing that when Sanders is under center, the offense doesn't just look good, it feels right. And in a league obsessed with momentum, right now Sanders has all of it. And the fans? They see it too. Social media is lighting up with Browns fans already calling Sanders the steal of the draft. Clips from camp are going viral, showing his accuracy, his poise, his leadership. People who doubted him before are now doubling down on his potential. And with every practice rep, the hype train gets louder. Normally, hype around a rookie QB is dangerous. It's too much, too soon. But in Sanders' case, the hype isn't outpacing the reality, it's matching it. Now here's the real dilemma. The Browns didn't draft Sanders to be their starter. They didn't even draft him to be their backup. By all accounts, he was supposed to sit, learn, and maybe develop into a long-term project. But football doesn't follow scripts. And now the Browns coaching staff faces a decision that could define their season. Do they stick with the safe veteran options? Guys who've been there, done that, but don't bring the same spark? Or do they take the risk and hand the reins to a rookie who wasn't supposed to even be in the conversation this early? That's the question burning in Cleveland right now. Because here's the thing. Sanders hasn't just checked a few boxes, he's checked them all. College production, elite. Camp performance, surpassing expectations. Locker room respect, earned it in record time. Media support, growing by the day. Veteran endorsements, already secured. This isn't a fluke. This isn't a feel-good story. This is a real quarterback controversy, one sparked by a 5th-round pick who refused to accept the role the league tried to give him. And when you zoom out, it gets even more fascinating. The Browns' history at quarterback is infamous. Years of failed draft picks, botched trades, short-term fixes, and constant turnover. For decades, Cleveland has been the place where quarterbacks go to disappear. And yet, now, out of nowhere, in the 5th round of the 2025 draft, they might have stumbled onto the answer. Not the hyped-up first-rounder, not the big-name free agent, the kid everyone overlooked, the kid carrying the Sanders name, but determined to carve out his own. So here's where we stand. The Browns' quarterback room is packed, but the momentum is undeniable. The veterans are watching, the media is buzzing, the fans are rallying, and the coaches are rethinking everything. SHEDUER Sanders has forced his way into the conversation, and there's no turning back. He's not just a camp story. He's not just a rookie experiment. He's a legitimate threat to take the starting job. And the league better pay attention, because if Sanders keeps stacking days like this, Cleveland's QB saga is about to take a turn nobody saw coming. The kid who wasn't supposed to matter might just be the one who changes everything.